Good morning, good noon, good evening, whatever time and place you're listening to us from, straight from the 909. It's Mark, Ali, myself, Isaiah, and together,
that's hip hop.
Please don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell. Today we're discussing T.I.P.
The king.
The Rubberband Man. Pharrell called him the Jay-Z of the South. T.I.'s legacy in hip-hop is immense, particularly in solidifying the Southern rap scene on a national scale. With albums like Trap Muzik, King, Paper Trail, he helped popularize the trap music genre, paving the way for future Southern artists. His influence extends beyond music, as he's been a significant cultural figure, advocating for social justice and entrepreneurship within the Black community. T.I. also successfully transitioned into acting, reality TV, further broadening his impact. His contributions to both music and culture have earned him a respect as a multifaceted artist and a businessman, making him a key figure in the evolution of modern hip-hop. You know, we're talking about someone who just did it so differently. Like when you think about the South, you know, you think grills, you think tatted up, but it's like with T.I., he has like this clean look about him, you know, like it just totally like different, and that's what I think is really cool about him is like, you know, when I first saw him, I was thinking, dude, this guy is different. Like in the fact that he looks clean, but lyrically throws it down. Mm-hmm. And he's talking about trap stuff, but it's like introspective trap. Mm-hmm. You know? Yeah. Which is like
native tongues meets trap music.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah. It's like, it's cool that like he goes more in depth into the inside of what somebody is thinking, you know, as they're like trapping and stuff like that.
Yeah, he's kind of giving you the opportunity to find out the why someone would do the trapping. Right. You know?
Right.
Instead of just showing about it and like making songs about it, the deeper look kind of gives it the opportunity to like explain why.
Right.
Right. I mean, for me, I've always figured like when you talk, you know, when you touch on the streets, if there's no consequences in your music, I don't believe it. Like if you don't ever have a song that or a verse or something where, you know, you can mention the dark side of it where, you know, you lost people, you know, went to jail for life, or this is something that could happen to you or things of that nature. If you don't touch on the consequences, I can't believe it. Like, because to me, that's what gives it the reality of it. That's what makes it believable. That's what makes it truthful, and that's what makes it, you know, beyond just entertainment. There's some redeeming qualities because you can touch on, hey, if I would have kept on this path, I could have ended up like this. Or, you know, I know people that, you know, I was here with them and then, you know, a couple of days later they're gone. You know what I mean? I've lost friends. I lost homies to jail. I lost homies to the system. You know, I had to go to, you know, 10 funerals before I turned 25 or something. Like, whatever those consequences are, if you don't mention consequences, it's not real. And T.I. is somebody that can balance. Yeah, sometimes people can misconstrue it as glorifying, you know, trapping in the streets and all of that, but T.I. also can give you real life, you know, consequences within his music and even within some of the things he went through. And I think that's what makes him, you know, one, relatable, but two, believable in how he produces his message.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen him on TV before get pretty heated about even social things. Mm-hmm. I've seen him battle Candace Owens.
Yeah.
You know, on certain things. Mm-hmm. And it's like, you know, you come at Candace Owens, you got to have your like.
You better know what you're talking about.
Because she's going to easily destroy you.
Oh, yeah.
And he like he was pressing her, you know, which was pretty dope. The fact that, you know, that shows you his intellect is there.
Absolutely.
You know, to be able to do that. But then at the same time, it's like he's a business mogul. Like he's buying property, like corporate property, and he's like trying to like flip them and like lease them out to like different corporations and stuff like that.
He would
just dope.
On podcasts, he would mention the real estate hacks that he has, especially with having large capital like that. You'd want to do your best to keep all that, otherwise you get taxed beyond belief.
Yep.
He was mentioning it off the cuff about these ways you could lessen the burden on the taxes. And to have that kind of knowledge, like on the back end, means that he's actually doing it, not having some sort of like property manager.
Right.
You know, he's
the guy you call.
Yeah. He was actually had his hand in some of it.
Yeah.
You know, as far as understanding and getting educated on that. And that's pretty impressive, man, because typically a lot of artists don't really branch out into several streams of income. They just pretty much go onto the residuals, performing, concerts, and merch.
Yeah.
He does stuff beyond that. Takes a lot more work, and not a lot of people do that, but T.I. obviously knows a thing or two about it because he himself went through the trenches of trying to understand it and make money off of it.
So really quick, we're talking about the sophomore album, Trap Muzik, released on August 19th, 2003 by Atlantic and his newly founded record label, Grand Hustle. It's also a dope note there. Due to poor sales, T.I.'s first album, on I'm Serious, he asked for a joint venture deal with Arista Records or to be released from this contract. He was subsequently dropped from the label. In 2002, T.I. launched Grand Hustle with his longtime business partner, Jason Geter, and signed a new deal with Atlantic Records. This album spawned hit singles 24's Be Easy, Rubberband Man, and Let's Get Away. The album featured guest appearances from 8 Ball and MJG, Jazzifa, Bun B, and Mac Booney. Also, Kanye West produced 2 tracks on here with T.I.'s longtime record producer, DJ Tump.
Oh, Tump.
Tump, there you go. Thank you for that correction. As the executive producer on this album, Trap Muzik debuted at number 4 on the U.S. Billboard 200 and number 2 on the U.S. top R&B and hip-hop albums, selling 110,000 copies in its first week. That's really good. And the album was certified platinum. I mean, can't get better than that by the RIAA. So Mark chose this album for us to cover, and I wanted to ask you, Mark, you know, what led you to choose Trap Muzik for us to cover?
I wanted to take everyone by surprise, mainly you guys.
Yeah, you did.
Because I love the internet. I love the internet because the internet's going to stay undefeated. There's no matter what happens, there's always going to be something either funny, interesting, or in my feeds, besides wrestling, it's just random spewing of just trying to understand and get educated more. But also video games.
Okay.
Need for Speed Underground came around.
And that is a game.
And I was doing, I was just flicking through Instagram, and I saw a reel with the drag race sequence, and synced up with the drag race sequence was 24s.
Yep.
And I'm like, damn,
Need for Speed.
this was it. And
or Midnight Club was also another.
Yep, that was another one.
And the main source of all this is that Need for Speed, EA Games, and the people that made Midnight Club all understood that you needed a hot soundtrack.
Yep.
That wasn't just all hip hop, but it was different genres as well. But it centered around all that.
And tell me you weren't trying to go your fastest while listening to 24s.
Man.
Or at least have some dubs too, man.
Right? At least trick your car out something.
So that came into my mind to try to. I wanted us to give an approach to T.I. and have people understand that, hey, look, not all the albums I'm going to pick are going to be conscious or going to be
boom bap.
Yeah, boom bap or all of that. Like I want this to be the a variety tray, a variety pack, if you will, of just hip hop, whether one of us selects it or not. Right. I want people to understand that, hey, look, we have something to dissect with people as complex as Tone Death, or as on the other side as like just To the Streets
DMX
as T.I. Too Short. You know, we can do that. We want to make sure that people understand that each of these artists that we review have these 2 characteristics. First, they're successful, and then we could dig into as to why they became successful.
Right.
Because you can always learn a thing or two on this.
Yeah.
And
Definitely.
dude, I've enjoyed T.I. More than I'd like to admit. He was for my whole like pro underground stance on hip hop. T.I. to me is a guilty pleasure because he just gets that ambitious side of you out. He gets the ambitious side of you out. And I don't even sell drugs.
For me, he tricked me because like I didn't learn of T.I. until
he tricked me.
Yeah, I didn't learn
Hell
of him
yeah.
until of Urban Legend, and that looks very New York hip hop, like boom bap. It looks like that. So I thought, okay, this guy's gonna be like a young Nas or something. And like to my surprise, it was just like, nah, it's a different style, different slang, like and I still liked it though, which I found was interesting because I never really tried to listen to like trap music or nothing like that. It was all really kind of underground hip hop. But I actually started to like it, and that slowly led into me seeing features that he would do. I think he did a feature with Beyonce and Destiny's Child.
Yep. So
right?
I'm a Soldier. Yep.
Yeah, that was a dope feature, dope music video. And then he did a feature on Justin Timberlake's Summer Love. Like he just pops out, and it's like he fits these spots where he just makes good music, man.
Yeah.
Overall, like he could give you that street sound, but then it's like there's intellect there. Like that's what's dope about him. I love the track that he did with Young Thug. If it ain't about the money, I think, it was a Young Thug and him. I think it's called About the Money or something like that. Money. Sick motivational track that always makes me want to be a hustler.
Oh yeah, you got to get it.
Yeah, and when I want to get it, like in that mentality, I could easily go to T.I. and then I'll feel like a business mentality mind frame, like when I listen to T.I. That's what I like about his music is like I'll get motivated in that type of way to like step it up and do all that kind of stuff.
His feature on that Swagger Like Us remix,
great. And you standing next to
he was amongst greats with that. He had Lil Wayne, Jay-Z,
Kanye,
and he pops off on his verse. I want to argue that he probably has the best verse on that.
That was always the argument. That was the argument during that time.
Man.
Who had the best verse? And you could make a case virtually for all of them. They all delivered. And yeah, T.I. definitely stood out on there for sure.
Now, what do you guys think about the King of the South thing?
Oh,
because we've had different artists that come out of the South. Like we were talking about, Ludacris is another guy that really put on the South.
So for timeline's sake, here in 2003 with Trap Muzik, this is the point where, if you think about it in a race, T.I. and Ludacris are essentially neck and neck. Because you have T.I. starting off at a bigger pace than Ludacris, because Ludacris started, doing he was doing radio before he started doing all this. So he grew up his independent stuff. But T.I. comes out of the gates on major labels. So at this point, with the same amount of releases, they're neck and neck in this whole Atlanta music scene. So that's what I wanted to make sure we establish here for timeline's sake, is that it was anybody's race to win.
Oh yeah, I mean, in inevitable, in hip hop, when you got two artists, kind of similar timeline, kind of similar. Where they are in their careers, a lot of times, that's how you end up in situations where there's competition there. Yeah. And there was a moment where, T.I. and Ludacris were beefing for a little while. Obviously it was just rap, wasn't nothing too serious, eventually was squashed, some years later, but that's that competition side of it. And when T.I. called himself the King of the South, remember he called himself this is his second album.
Right.
Like in his first, album that did well.
And he said it on the first album too.
Yes, he said it on the first album, and then he has a song called it on this album.
Yeah.
Like, so from that point on, he had a target, you know what I mean? And he had his share of, disputes and beefs and stuff like that. But for T.I. to come out his second album and call himself the King of the South, I liked it because that was bold. Yeah. Like you had people like Goody Mob, Outkast, you had Scarface before him, like you had all these legends before him. But to T.I.'s credit, none of them ever called themselves that.
So who is really, what would you guys say, who would you give the edge to as far as like the king of the South?
Now, personally, for me personally, I would always say Scarface. That's just me. But as far as, you know, guys that claim it or tried to claim it, I have to give it to T.I. because even in his dispute, like during this time, he's beefing with Lil Flip and Lil Flip's from Houston. Now, you know, one of the angles that Lil Flip was trying to make was like, man, you ain't the king of the South. Scarface is the king of the South. You know, we got that here in Houston. It's Scarface. But during that whole situation, there's a moment where T.I. actually gets Scarface on the phone, and he's like, look, you ain't never heard me say that. I ain't never put myself out there like that. That ain't some title I ever really wanted. Yeah. So, you know, that's something that you want to be. You go ahead and run with that. Like,
you kids go play outside.
Yeah, y'all do
play
that.
outside and be
like,
nice.
Like literally, like I ain't.
That's
not. You know, I've never tried that. I never wanted to be that. You've never heard me say it. So if that's something you trying to run with, go ahead and have at it, young man. Like that was kind of what Scarface was coming from. So the moment I saw that video, I was like, it's T.I. Like that's just what it is. He embraced it. He called himself that. He carried himself in that way, and he was down to defend that title for whoever wanted to battle or beef or whatever. Like he kept that, and he moved in a way where, you know, he put on other artists. He signed B.O.B.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
Was diamond in the rough.
So he put B.O.B. on. You know what I mean? He helped, you know, along the way. He helped, you know, Gucci Mane along the way. You know, he's had his hand in pretty much anyone from Atlanta that came up. T.I. he had his hands in some way, shape, or form. Whether he was signing them in, directly, gave them a feature early on in their careers, put them on one of his albums early on, whether it was Jeezy, 2 Chainz, whoever, you know, that was what T.I. did. So for me, based on how he carried himself and his longevity, and he was the one to claim it, I got to give it to him.
What you think, Mark?
I'll take Ludacris with his discography.
Okay.
Like I think it's just the gentleman's kind of remained consistent on that. T.I.'s kind of laid low for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
T.I.'s the better actor.
Yes.
I love ATL.
Yes.
And I don't think there's ever going to be this random solo Ludacris movie.
No.
He's like, how much is Fast paying me? Again? Okay, cool. I'm chill.
And you can't be mad at that either.
No, not at all.
No,
not at all.
That's a great check.
Not at all.
Even though, what's his name called him out? Cat Williams called him out about that.
Oh, I saw that. He called it.
Oh, yeah.
He called it.
About that.
Illuminati thing. Yeah.
Yes.
They could only take one light skin at a time. The one thing I wanted Ali to mention too is the fact that I didn't know about, but the combination of ATL and T.I.'s subsequent albums after this is coming to play.
When King, so he dropped in 2006 his third album, his fourth album, King comes out, and ATL came out the same week. So he became the first artist ever to have the #1 movie and the #1 album in the same week. Yeah. Like that was brilliant. And from that point on, not a lot of artists have tried that, but a couple have, but it didn't hit the same. Like when T.I. did it, he was at his peak as a rapper and at his peak in popularity to do a movie, and the movie actually was really good. Like it was the perfect storm at that time for him.
A lot have tried and a lot have failed.
Yeah. T.I. is he's the best example of trying to do both at the same time. Like most artists, they're either pretty good at one or pretty good at the other, or they put the other one to the side for a while. Like Tip at one point was doing both. He was in that movie, Takers. That was a good one.
Takers was good.
Like T.I.'s his movie resume is pretty good.
For the worst part of the rap movie combination C, Cool as Ice with Vanilla Ice.
Just wanted to plug that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, for the opposite side of the spectrum, because they really tried with Vanilla Ice.
Yeah, they did. They gave it a budget, a legit budget.
They did give it a budget. It was nuts.
Let's talk about style from T.I. What do you guys get when you hear T.I.'s style as far as like his delivery?
I like that the confidence shoots a lot forward.
Man.
I like to think about it as like when he cast a reel in fishing. Just casted a long reel with his confidence. But as he reeled it back up, he actually gathered more skills and adapted, you know. And the confidence is going to take you a long way, especially if you present it well. But the more he got involved with like his albums and stuff, and the more he got involved with like doing features and going and expanding with other artists outside the rap genre, that's where you understood like, hey, look, not only I'm doing it good within myself, but other people see that.
Yeah.
And they want to be a part of it.
I don't even think he like intentfully tried to. He just kind of naturally did expand. Like, because usually when you get big in the South, like you could live live on that, just being big in the South. But obviously we know T.I., his reach expanded further than that.
Yep.
You know, where New York knows about him, L.A. knows about him.
Correct.
Like, so yeah.
People thought he was from New York.
Yeah, he broke that ceiling. Yeah, I thought, like, for example, he was from New York.
I mean, for me, I would say, like, well, the first time I ever heard T.I. was he was a feature on the Bone Crusher song "Never Scared." That's the first time I ever heard him.
That's a good catch.
That's legendary.
That was the very first time I ever heard of him in life, and I was like, he was the last verse, and the verse was hard. I was like, who is this?
Yeah.
The verse was hard. I'm like, okay, he's somebody I need to pay attention to. And maybe a few months later, Trap Muzik comes out. So I was like, okay, let me pay it. Oh, that's the guy from Never Scared. Okay, cool. And from that point on, for me, as far as his style, like how Isaiah mentioned earlier about him being kind of clean, cut from the South, like he made it to where while he's very, very Southern in accent, lingo, and, I would say production style and even subject matter to a degree, but his presentation, he can fit anywhere.
Yeah, very versatile.
Very versatile. Even like with Urban Legend, the first single was Bring 'Em Out. That was to appeal to New York.
Yeah.
What I mean? Like instantly. He got the Jay-Z sample, Swiss Beats did the beat. Like that was his attempt at the East Coast.
Like even rapping on Summer Love, that's a hard beat to kind of just normally rap to.
Even sampling that Crystal Waters song, She's Homeless, with Why You Wanna.
Well, yeah.
Dude.
So
that's hard.
He tapped into so many different sounds, and then even on the same album on Urban Legend, he has a song with Daz Dillinger. So that's him tapping into the West Coast.
Yeah.
Like his influences, if you hear like him talk about his story and upbringing in hip hop, he always talks about how he was a huge NWA fan and very, very big on Jay-Z when he came out. Like those were kind of his main influences. He would always say his NWA and Jay-Z were kind of his first early influences outside of Atlanta before Outkast and Goody Mob, took off.
Yeah, and really good with his choruses too.
Very good. He can create club anthems.
He is an incredible
He creates
hook
club
writer.
anthems. Yeah.
Yes.
Like I'm thinking, dude, 50 makes great choruses. Ja Rule makes great choruses.
Yep.
Naughty by Nature.
And now T.I.'s in the mix.
T.I. is in that conversation. If we talking rappers with as far as writing choruses, T.I. is in that conversation for one of the best.
The ones we're gonna review off jump. 24's a Rubberband Man.
Incredible choruses.
Yeah.
Great.
Like some of the best, of the best choruses ever written by a rapper.
If you were to if you were to actually like take a couple microscopes and be like, these are the best choruses in the Dirty South. Okay, within Atlanta, you're gonna look at those two.
Have to,
and there's certain and I call them anthems. Jay-Z can do that. Tretch can do that. Nas can do it. It's like one of those big tracks.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Where everybody's singing.
Oh yeah.
He can do that.
Absolutely. I mean, for me, like I said, with Tip in the South, like he was the first Southern rapper. Well, not Southern rapper. He was the first Atlanta rapper that really, took the street element and really brought it to life. Like, because like I said, before him, it really was just Outkast and Goody Mob. They touched on street topics. Like the term trap was used. They mentioned the trap. They would mention it in their music. But with the debut of this album, that's when the term trap music existed in hip hop.
And now look, like a decade later, now it's like it's whole. We have boom bap, we have trap.
Yep.
It's its whole decade.
It's its own subgenre.
Yeah.
And that term did not exist until this album came out. Like that's if T.I. did nothing else in hip hop, which obviously he's done a lot.
Right.
But if he did nothing else, he literally invented the term trap music.
Yeah.
Like that alone
And when
is
you have that
enough.
in combination with Lil Wayne,
Right.
you know, changing the game, and then you have him coining the term trap music, and then like, you know, you just lead into what Migos, Gucci Man,
2
like,
Chainz,
everybody, yeah, like just a
Future,
decade
all these
later,
different
music.
aspects, all these different legends of trap music. They came after, you know, Young Jeezy, another one, big one, you know,
and he wasn't even trying to do anything that mimics trap music now. He was actually just rapping.
Right.
Yeah. That's a great point.
That was like a breath of fresh air, because sometimes you could get really south and just have these like
just a draw, just of the
more
tongue.
more draw, more this just going off kilter,
Right.
and not framing yourself within like, hey, look, these are bars, let's get a 16 going.
Right.
As long as you keep it like that. I say that in the instance if you want to be consistent and effective, that's what you stick to.
Yeah.
You just stick to the basics. Some people, like, even with trap music now, they're not on the basics. They're like creating their own version of it.
Yes.
Now adding the drill element to it, you know, so yeah.
That's a great point. Like you said, T.I. wasn't really, like you said, he was just rapping over beats that happen to now have its own thing. Like, we didn't call them trap beats.
Yeah, it has its
Like,
own
we didn't
sound.
call, like, we would call, like, you know, Rubberband Man, that would be considered a trap beat now. But we weren't calling it that thing.
Similar,
it was just
similar to boom bap beat too. We weren't calling it
no.
boom bap.
We called that. We got that. It got its name way later.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Good points.
Let's talk about the album cover. The album cover, for those who are listening, it has T.I., young T.I. on the cover. He's wearing a black
Bro,
tee.
I'm still trying to figure out how he has his hat cocked.
It just sits there.
He's mastered anti-gravity on the top of his head.
I was gonna do that, but I got the headphones holding him down.
He's standing in front of like it looks like maybe his trap house.
Probably look like a trap
You
house.
know, so he's standing in front of it. He's wearing a Falcons hat tilted to the side, and he's mean mugging. He has a gold piece, one chain around his neck, black tee. He has some jewelry, a watch, a bracelet, ring. He has his hands tucked in his pockets. He's doing the little 9 signal there, where you usually get a rip after that. And then you have the T.I., you know, written in red.
Yeah, it kind of looks like Mortal Kombat font.
Yeah, trap music. Underneath it, with music spelled as M-U-Z-I-K.
I also want to point out that buying a hat with the baseball team is common. Buying a hat with a football team on it, you better watch out for anybody doing that. Anybody with a Raider hat, anybody with a football team on a hat.
They serious.
Just like,
Yeah. You're not buying football hats unless you're a fan of the team.
And then the Falcons, too. I don't know how they were that year when this came out.
They were coming up. I mean, you had Vic. Vic was the hottest thing out. So
they did have, what was it? It was Michael Vick, Algie
I
Crumpler.
forgot I was speaking with
Algie
two.
Crumpler.
Yes,
and
Warwick
then,
Dunn.
Warwick Dunn.
yeah, the Falcons was hot that year. Like everybody, if you weren't a fan of a team, you probably rocked with the Falcons just off the strength of Vic. Vic was the hottest thing out at the time.
Yeah, mind you, for those who are listening, I'm speaking with 2 sports junkies.
Oh yeah, we do that.
Peace to the Atlanta Falcons for granting the illest sports name I've ever heard. But it was Andre Bad Moon Rising.
Oh yeah.
So the guy was his last name was R-I-S-O-N, but his nickname was Bad Moon.
Bad Moon.
So Bad Moon Rising.
Yeah.
That was dope.
No, I mean, Atlanta's always. I mean, the Falcons have had honestly a few cultural figures within
Goldberg.
hip hop. From
Not
hip hop. Goldberg is a cultural figure. But within hip hop, I mean, you had like Andre Rising. You know, what I mean, he dated Left Eye. You had Deion Sanders,
Tony Gonzalez. Tony
Gonzalez. You had obviously Vic. Vic was in the video for Rubberband Man. So they like. Culturally, the Falcons have always kind of been tapped in, and I think during this time it was just a nice, like this to me was the beginning of Atlanta starting to take over hip hop.
Yeah,
like this was the early stages of that takeover because you had from T.I., Ludacris doing
Lil
anything,
Jon.
John blowing up, Yin Yang Twins, Jeezy's about to come out.
Yeah.
Like Atlanta was starting to really take over.
Because nowadays Atlanta we know it as Atlanta.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I want to say even like for a cool couple years, they just take the top spot and then it just becomes interchangeable after that.
Yeah. But I feel like
true.
this period represents kind of that beginning of that kind of takeover in
Is
hip
this
hop.
chain that long? What's in the middle? Is that?
I can't tell if it's like a bottle or if it's like a gold piece. I can't tell.
I think that is the thing. It's probably his pendant, man, because there's
right.
nothing. Like, because if he was having a bottle, his hands won't be by his side. He'd have to hold it.
It's a piece. I don't know what kind of piece.
That's crazy.
It's hard to tell.
The picture also looks like it's a crumbled up, old photo in black and white.
Oh, yeah. Good point.
Kind of give it a rugged look to it.
And then the only thing in color is his name, so just
it pops,
there's a marketing thing behind the color red.
Yep.
In red,
like McDonald's is always in red, In and Out. All that stuff, just to focus and make you pay attention to it. When it comes to food, it makes you hungry.
Yep. Good point.
But Young T.I., this is the second album, so this is coming off of I'm Serious, which was his first album, which, I guess it received some criticisms, but I listened to the album. I thought it was dope, but maybe it was just not the right rollout. Or,
could be.
Certain things happen.
Ain't nothing better than an album coming from somebody that needs to prove something.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have a lot to say.
Even to the point, even down to his name, like, you know what I mean? Like, because his name, is Tip. That was a nickname he had growing up. He always was, people called him Tip. That was always his thing. Good point. Was signed to Atlantic or Arista, whichever label it was.
He signed to Atlantic after Arista.
Yeah.
Q-Tip was already on Arista.
Yeah.
So they're like, well, we have a Tip already, so you got to change your name.
That's cool for him to be that dope, to be like, all right,
I can respect it. Yes, respect for Q-Tip. He was first. I'm cool with that. But he's like, well, what y'all going to change it to? Because I don't really have nothing else. It's like, we'll figure out something. And he said one of his older songs, he has a bar that ends with T.I. and then the next bar starts with P. So they were just like, why not T.I.? And he was just like, okay, because he couldn't think of nothing else. Yeah. So he just rolled with T.I. That's literally how he got his name T.I.
It's cool though, because it's like Tip's is like alter ego in a way, which is kind of like his Eminem or Slim Shady.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. And that's literally what he said. He said Tip was kind of the alter ego to T.I. That's kind of where.
Or what if he was just like, nah.
Let's change this.
Yeah, but he let the label come up with it. He was like, y'all do it because I can't think of nothing else. I've always been
I'm busy writing.
I've been Tip my whole life. I don't really
because he's always that's been his just natural nickname.
Yep. Yeah. They just called him that growing up. So
he's
like, go ahead.
Yeah, but it's pretty dope. But like it's like it's cool looking back now seeing this because you see a young just like star that's like
22
hasn't fully blossomed yet, but like now looking retrospect, you know who T.I. is, so it's like cool looking at it in retrospect.
Yeah, he's only 22 going on 23 on this album. Like,
a lot that he's gonna end up
young.
Doing. But dope album cover. It pops, and that's what I think you needed to do. You needed to gain attention.
Oh yeah.
So it popped. It did the job. Okay, so right about this time is when we start to transition into the lyrics of the tracks that we chose. We usually choose 3 tracks out of the album just because we tried going every track through the album, and it is
exhausting.
Some albums have 20 some tracks.
Yeah.
Like it's just too much.
This is the era where it was still cool to make 18, 19, 20 song albums.
Yeah, so we're choosing 3 tracks. We're going into the lyrics, deep diving into those. But before we do that, a couple of things we want to promote. One, we know it's back to school. We know you're back out there with the backpack, with your cap, but you're lacking something. You're lacking that swag. You're lacking that thing that's going to really make it pop. You need some cool stuff on your gear. I got the plug. The name's Mark. He is the notorious Kingpin himself.
Oh, well, I like that.
Mark, let them know where they can find your stuff, man.
Yeah. So, as Isaiah was saying, if you guys are slacking in your Mac, we have the pins to tighten that slack to make your Mac on point.
All that.
The notorious pin, we have over 50 pins ranging from pop culture to video games, our Pokey Rapper series as well. A variety for everybody. We even launched the 2 available in black and white, the iPod enamel pin. So you for all you old heads out there, including myself. I kept a couple for myself as well. So yeah, we have something for everybody at thenotoriouspin.com. Make sure you check out the website. Follow us on TikTok at The Notorious Pin or on Instagram at LNotoriousPin. Take a look, see the pins that we have, and let's get you styled up.
And then we also have Ali, who has a book out, and we want you guys to check that out as well. Ali, let them know, man, where they could go.
You can check it out. It's called Restoring the Feeling. It's my first poetry book. You can find it. It's digital only. You find it anywhere you get books, Barnes & Noble, iTunes, Amazon. Download it for your iPad, your phone, your Kindle, whatever you read books on that's digital. Check it out, Restoring the Feeling.
And then, of course, if you haven't followed us, this is your time. This is the time where we just put it out there. We give you a moment, actually, to go ahead and look at the subscribe button. It should be somewhere around there on the bottom here. You see it down there?
Yeah, true. Yep.
Should be. Yeah,
we're on the road. We're on the road to 600. We're almost there, y'all.
You're almost there. You just okay. Yeah, right there. Click it there.
On the road to 600.
We appreciate that, guys, because we're just this is what it's about. Getting to the lyrics of those who've inspired us in music, those who are particularly in hip hop. We just wanted to shed some light, give some flowers to some legends who we don't really hear talked about too much, and this is our way to kind of give that respect. And we've been blessed to have the opportunity to interview some of the greats in hip hop so far.
Check the interviews out, man. Check out the interviews.
And it's going to it's going to keep, it's going to keep coming eventually. I know. So we definitely appreciate every follow, every subscribe. It doesn't go overlooked. We definitely appreciate you guys, and we hope to keep delivering more and more videos and giving respect where it's due.
Yeah, and as I said before, consider where you're getting your hip-hop podcast from. If your hosts within your favorite hip-hop podcast don't freestyle every 5 episodes, you might want to reconsider and coming over to That's Hip Hop, where we will freestyle every 5 episodes off the top. Ain't nothing better than improvisational rap with the homies. I mean, so it makes the cipher even better.
Not all these podcasters can spit. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying.
That is true. Off the top freestyle.
Right, off the top too.
So let's get into this to these lyrics. We're gonna go start with Be Easy as first. Be easy.
Be easy.
This track, this album, just every track is worth your time to listen to. So from the beginning, and I Can't Quit, I like the fact that he sets off the tone on this album with talking about, this ain't even music. This is trap music.
Mm-hmm.
He's really distinctively identifying this sound is different from just normal. And then I like the second track where he talks about Can't Quit, because we know that, like you were talking about, Mark, he went through that struggle or with the Arista Records, and that could have been an easy way out to be like, you know what, I tried it, and just, but he didn't give up, kept pushing, and man, it's dope. It's very motivational. So I Can't Quit is the second one. Be Easy, though, we chose Be Easy to be the third one. This is also a single. I'm not sure if there's a music video on this one.
Yeah, there is.
There is? Yeah. Okay, let's go. So Be Easy is the third one. Where the piano at, shorty? I forgot about that. The piano's out on this too, which is sick. Dope beats, by the way. I got a shout out to those who made these beats. How'd you pronounce his name again?
DJ Toomp.
Oh yeah, and then Jazzy Faye.
Jazzy Faye, yeah.
DJ Toomp on this one.
Yep, DJ Toomp did this.
Just sick.
Yeah, Toomp does a lot of T.I.'s biggest records. Toomp did. He did What You Know. I think he did ASAP.
Yeah.
A lot of his biggest records, Toomp did a lot of them.
Oh, I like that track too. What You Know about that? Forgot about that.
I don't even, man, his choruses.
Yeah.
He nails them.
That was sick. Verse 1, I'm 22 and a vet in the game. Say I'm super cool, still a threat at the same time. Rhyme about the times I invested in Kane. Different type of flow here. It's not your typical at the end this is gonna rhyme. It's kind of like here and there, like boom, coupled up.
Yeah.
Which is already just something I'm already picking up on. Pleasure and pain in every aspect of the game. I'm the answer to your prayers if you're praying for change. So how dare you compare us and say we the same? When I'm climbing the ladder, they stuck in the same mind frame. Their accomplishments are nothing to gain. And visually, see, I'm out of your range. Except this rose gold glow from my wrist to my chain. I entertain young who slang like a picture, no frame. See, it's simple and plain. Hey, my shit bang, spits flame, put to shame, flow insane. Lyrics sick and deranged.
Yep.
Now you can't mention my city unless you mention my name. T-I-P-I-M-P. I'm the man. Hey.
I love
off.
Like
Going
see,
off.
and I like how one here he kept the same rhyme scheme. I love when artists hold a rhyme scheme for a flow.
Yeah.
And then even how he spelled his name at the end, he was like, mention my name, T-I-P-I-M-P. I'm the man. Like that's very Biggie. Like it's very Biggie. Like when I see people spell their name with unorthodox flows, I go right to Biggie. Biggie did that so well, and to see T.I. do that here was dope.
Yeah, and keeping the whole verse within the same rhyme style gives the audience the opportunity to understand that this guy has that lyrical dexterity.
Yeah.
And it actually, it's not something you're going to calculate, but you'll know that, hey, he's capable of that.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah. Then you got the hook here. The hook is also very catchy. I mean, just the phrase, "Hey, be easy."
You don't want no trouble with me.
Just
Be easy. The drama ain't nothing to me. Be easy. Before you have problems, just breathe. Be easy. You ain't worth dying. Believe me.
Just be easy.
Like, come on, man.
You don't want your mama to grieve.
Be easy.
Well, mind your business.
Don't bother the G. Like he's letting you know, like, look, you don't want that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not out here trying to be a killer, but
It's weird though too. Like he says so much in a short sentence. He could say so much just the way he puts it really quick, and just very impactful. It's kind of crazy. Swear you stunning, but you fronting to me. Be easy. Behind the scenes or behind the breeze. Oh, breezes. Be easy. Verse 2.
You came and kissed an ass when I came to lead. Set the standard for Atlanta, rearranged the lead. Okay, so what the fuck is a frame to me? I've been popping since kindergarten. You's a lame to me. I give what they came to see, a reflection of oneself. Okay, Shakespeare.
come on now.
Okay, ATL Shakespeare. A reflection of oneself, what they aim to be. As you can see, it ain't no change in me. You won't meet another off the chain as me. I'm so fly, no lie. Let me see. I'm so fly, no lie. Don't deny it. You felt so inspired by my style. Decide to try it yourself. But you won't meet nobody ranked as high as myself. Those checks waiting on, Holmes. I can sign them myself. Tote, gats, throat, smoke that. Now I'm high. Seats way back in the Maybach I ride. Through the streets of the west side, I slap 5 and throw dubs. Show love. You hate me? Why?
Wow.
Hey!
He killed that.
Anytime you
verse,
mention
man.
the Maybach, it's fire.
Like,
Maybach in 2003.
and he probably didn't even have it like that yet. See, that was more ambitionary speak. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's how I always look like, a rapper like
He put that verse on credit.
right.
Straight up.
Like seriously. Like he probably didn't even
get it
have
back.
one
I'll get it
just
back.
yet, but it was coming. It was coming. Like I like when rappers do stuff like that. It's not necessarily like lying in their raps per se. It's more inspiration, ambition talk.
And putting the point within the bar, saying the checks you waiting on, Holmes, I could sign it myself. Meaning the money is not just through the record company. The money's not through so and so. It's with him
Started his
directly.
own
Like he
label,
could just sign it off. And boom.
And piece of that too, because when he started his own record label, like him and his group, because he had the crew, what was it called?
Pimp Squad Click.
Pimp Squad Click.
Yeah, PSC.
Yeah.
It's just sick. Like the fact that he was running basically like you were mentioning earlier, like a 50 Cent ordeal here. Like running mixtapes, creating the buzz. This was a hot time for mixtapes.
Yep.
And he capitalized on that as well. Like everybody kind of cashed in when they could.
Had a classic mixtape, Down with the King. You know what I mean? Like I said, on Grand Hustle, he had, PSC. He signed BG after he left Cash Money. He had like I said, B.O.B. So T.I. was trying to really get on his mogul, his mogul game early.
That's dope.
Mm-hmm.
Then we had the outro. What is it, Pimp? Tip. Trap Muzik. Understand that? This is something also too that's different with him on the outros, because this isn't the first time I've seen him kind of break the fourth wall. Mm-hmm. He does that, sometimes on the end of some tracks. He did it on If It Ain't About the Money. He did it on there too.
Yep, he'll talk.
Hey, just be easy.
Talk to you.
Grand hustle, Pimp. Hey, what's hating? Toomp. Hey, be easy. Let's ride out, homie. And then, so basically, he's just kind of like just talking, ad-lib and be easy. So pretty dope track though. I Can't Quit was another one, man. I kind of wish we covered that one as well. Okay, but that's an honorable mention. Then you have No More Talk, Doing My Job. Another honorable mention, Doing My Job. I think that's a track that's just, it's just one of those tracks where I was telling you where, like, as a dope dealer, he kind of takes you inside the mind of the dope dealer and, like, and why it is, like, he's there, hustling dope. Some artists vaguely touch on that. Like, Biggie kind of, in an indirect way, might kind of mention the little pieces of that, but T.I. goes more in depth into it,
Yes.
So that's something about him. Whereas Clips, don't even go in depth at all about it.
Nah,
Just kind of like push on.
This is what we do.
Yeah.
You open up any of their CDs, all you see is white.
we did it because we did it.
Just a couple of lines. Right
As soon as you open the woo,
we did it just because.
Evidence. You already got evidence.
Yeah. All kinds of rocks in there. No More Talk. Doing My Job, Let's Get Away was another single.
Yeah.
And then we're landing on a big one here.
Man.
24.
I love the intro to this. Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, this is straight up club anthem.
Man.
And it even goes beyond that. It's
the club, the car,
the games,
video game, like it was just an anthem, period.
I don't even know how you rap on this, but this dude pulled it off.
Made it work, right? He made
Find
it
that
work.
Instrumental, and
He just made it work, man.
Yeah.
Oh, before we get started, I do have to say, I have one small critique on this song.
Okay.
And it's not just this. It's like this is one of those things where every so often you'll have a song with a clean version, a song with an explicit version.
Right.
Sometimes it was better just left clean. The hook was better clean. The hook is better clean. Like, we'll get to the hook, but it was better clean. Like,
interesting.
And that's my only small beef with it. He could have left it how it was on the video. It was perfect. We get to the album, it was explicit. Obviously still an effective hook, but the hook to me was better clean.
I like that you mentioned the music video portion of it, because sometimes for the music video's sake, they'll just run it with the clean lyrics that you see, and they won't do the explicit.
Right.
Or they'll do it vice versa, to where if they're going to do the explicit, they won't show them actually speaking the explicit part of it.
Right.
So it kind of screws it up.
Right. But this one, they cleaned it up really nice, and I just thought that version was better. Like, every so often, sometimes the curse is necessary, but this was one of them cases where the clean hook was a better hook to me.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right, so we got the intro. For all your real ATL, he's already calling out the A. That's right. That's the dope boy anthem.
You ain't lying.
Come on.
Yeah.
Money, hoes, cars and clothes. That's how all my ballers roll.
Flow and draw on 24. That's how all my partners roll. See, what was wrong with partners? See, he could have left that there. Partners was great.
Yeah.
Even when he said like money hoes, like it was in the video, was money rolls, cars and clothes. Like it just fit. Like it was a smooth hook.
And especially talking about rolls too.
Yeah, rolls of money. Like it was a great cleanup.
That'd be a double meaning on that.
Exactly.
How does the clean version have a double meaning and the dirty version don't?
Like I said, the clean hook was better. The clean hook was better. That's all I gotta say.
God, this chorus.
Oh, it's so catchy.
I like the fact that the chorus starts first.
Yeah, you go right to it. Everybody's singing along.
Yeah, it really pulls you in right away. Then you're talking about verse 1.
I'm gonna go.
You want to go verse 1?
He goes, I'm in a drop top Chevy with the roof wide open. My partner's looking at me to see if my eyes open. Cause I've been drinking and I've been smoking. Flying down 285, but I'm focused. 454 SS. I race Porsches. White leather seats and some fresh fresh as the Air Forces. I say I'm doing about 100, but the track still bumping. Number 8 on NWA, straight out of Compton. That's express yourself. That's express yourself. Pull up at your apartment sitting on 20-somethings. And dope boys hollering, what's happening? The kids running. The cliques start dancing and the bars start choosing. And the cars being parked, but the rims keep moving. It's the era of spinning rims, man. This was the spinning rims era.
Yeah, pimp my ride era.
You know what I mean? The rims had to spin. If your rims wasn't spinning, you wasn't doing it. Sign pictures, but an onion of good and throw deuces. I ain't Hollywood, I've come from the hood, I'm used to it. So if you rear view shaking and your seats vibrating, 24-inch Dayton's got the Chevy skating, making money rolls, cars and clothes. That's how my partners roll. Like, killed it.
Yeah.
Killed it.
This is a good example of how where you're from actually benefits you a lot. T.I. has a particular cadence with his accent, and it allows him to manipulate words a lot more.
I'll say that because you were saying that reminds me of Soulja Boy as well. Soulja Boy just has a way with his cadence where it's just so natural. It's so authentic, man.
Yeah.
And it's his way.
Yeah.
Right. And the key example to what I mentioned would be the last bar. So if you review shaking and you see vibrating, 20-inch Dayton's got the Chevrolet skating making.
Yep.
Like you can't
it's hard
fake,
to do that.
Can't fake that.
Yeah, you can't, absolutely not. That's a great.
And you got to honestly believe all this too.
Yes.
Like I jokingly say that T.I. got these verses and put them on credit, but it's like. But it's like you got to believe it. This is where the confidence plays in. Of like, dude, like you're doing the music video, you got all that, but the motivation is the song first.
Exactly.
You don't got the music video after the
and then now I think
beforehand.
he owns dealerships now. Like
I wouldn't doubt it.
He sells cars.
Wouldn't doubt it.
You know, which is crazy. It's
Like I said, it's the
inside the dealership is 24s on the road.
24 spinning.
Yeah, this dude's selling them.
That's funny.
Verse 2. You want that one, Mark?
Yeah. Give me a meal and I'm satisfied. I got the rest. Underage civilian in the tightest ride. I want the best. I refuse to get a 9 to 5. I'd rather flip my keys. Been paying my dues ever since 89, trying to get my cheese. Diamonds gleam when I'm on the scene. They know it's me. It ain't no dream of fantasy, bitch. It's T.I.P. Broad busted like a baby do a binky. 5-carat VVS's on my motherfucking pinky. Half a Hennessy and Belvedere's what we drinking. Pimp squad sent for bras. What the hell you thinking? Young spending weekends on the islands in the fall. 24-inch rims shining when I'm riding because I'm balling. I'm balling.
Yeah,
I'm
he has
calling
to keep
out
it anchored
shot.
on the 24. That's dope.
I'm calling out shots like a pool shark. My tool sparks in the dark when I fool marks. Y'all fools hard in the wrong place at the wrong time. I got a strong mind to grab my chrome 9 and shoot at your ass for a long time. Just by mention, I got an extended clip on my 9.
Right.
But I'm gonna get that ass hauled off. Fuck around with the click. They be looking for your dick with the stick because y'all soft. So y'all lost. I'ma bail out at all costs. Spit game to a dame. Make her ride on this thing till she falls off. Sucks balls off. I got that.
Wow. Like the confidence is just on 1,000. Like that's what I like. That's what I like about.
And you got to believe it.
Yeah, these early style raps, like I said, T.I. was, he probably lived some of this, but it was aspirational. Like, nah, this is what it's gonna be. Like, I'm really about to be balling like this for real.
And that's true. That's true. Like you were saying, there's some bars you kind of have to spit in advance. That this is what it's gonna be ultimately, like prophetic and all.
Because being that young, especially.
Because he was in the midst of making that happen. Verse 3, hey, I ain't bouncing, little shawty. I'm relaxing right now. I'd probably still be trapping if it wasn't rapping right now.
I love that
bragging
line.
about pistols at the house. Well, who's strapped right now? Keep on talking, folk. I'll lay you on the back right
Right
now.
now.
Want to act right,
Right
now?
now.
Get smacked right,
Right
now.
now.
I love that.
Yes.
When you start rolling on it,
Mhm.
like, that's pretty dope. Hey, I'm Buck, a motherfucker. I don't know how to back down, clown down, here faking, fronting, talking about what you making. Nothing. I'm 21 and 10 years deep. This shit to me ain't nothing. I'm raised by getting head from the J's. Loose your leg when I spray. End up dead from the K. Stay ready for the raid. Paid heavy from the yay. I told my class, kiss my ass. I make 11 every day. Money, hoes,
Do it. And he lets this chorus ride for the end, man.
Yep, he does it twice. Yep.
Can you imagine that in person, like as them performing this?
Oh man,
It's probably crazy.
nuts.
You have the right car, you're instantly getting hose if you play this
Oh,
song.
it's a
Guaranteed.
This is a guaranteed parking lot pimping pickup.
Yeah.
With spinners on?
Dog. If you had spinners
And a
from
pager?
03 to 05, forget it.
I have a pager in here. You're all in your car. By the way, I have a pager in here, ladies.
Oh man, that's hilarious.
So we move on. The next track is not far away. It's the next track, Rubberband Man,
Man,
which was also another alias of his back in his Dope Dylan days. He would have the rubber band on his wrist. And he's, he took that as symbology, as, the struggle. And then here we have the Rubberband Man himself.
Yeah, just
classic.
You'd actually, I think the impact it was so prevalent that you were actually able to add a rubber band, customizing your player on NBA Live.
Damn.
Yeah,
You actually were able to put rubber bands.
that's true.
crazy.
I've never seen that up until that point. I was like, rubber band.
That was a thing.
Yeah.
I was like, what the
That was a
hell?
thing. In the early 2000s,
Some
that was a
people
thing.
started wearing that as a style thing too,
Yeah.
because I think was it like either 2003 or 4 or 5 or 6 or somewhere in there. There was that Live Strong Armstrong.
Yeah, that was that
band,
era.
right?
The Live Strong bands.
But
Yep.
then people who didn't have that, wanted to be cool. Rubber bands.
Oh, rubber band.
Yeah, just put rubber band on.
Or two.
Yeah. So we land on Rubberband Man.
Shout out David Banner. He did this beat.
Damn. Who did the beat on the one we just did, 24s?
I think Toomp might have did that one too.
It looks like, Toomp did that
Yeah.
one. Yeah.
Yeah, I said DJ Toomp. Most of T.I.'s biggest records, DJ Toomp did most of them.
Piece to Toomp on that. Piece to Toomp. Because, I imagine when you make that beat, it's just like,
Oh yeah, we got
shit.
one.
Yeah.
We got one.
You know what I mean? Okay, so we start with the intro, which is going to be the hook.
Same, like Mark mentioned earlier. It's another example. He starts with the hook out the gate.
Yeah, you're right.
Like, who am me is Rubberband Man. Wild as the Taliban. 9 on my right, 45 in my other hand. Call me Trouble Man. Always in trouble, man. Worth a couple $100,000. Chevys, all colors, man. Like, come on. That's a hook.
Swag on 100 right
That's
there.
a hook.
Yeah.
Dude, that gun combination's wild. The 45 and
9
the 9.
on my right, 45 in the other
9 and
hand.
the 45.
One's going, the other one's like, just in case his neighbor's doing something, he wants to blast the neighbor across the street.
That's funny.
And that's crazy too. Wild as the Taliban. That's crazy.
Especially during that time.
That's a bar.
How's he going to bang on the Taliban?
Wild as the Taliban.
That's a wild bar for 03.
Verse 1. Rubberband Man, like the one-man band. Treat them like Apollo, and I'm the Sandman. Tote $100,000. Canyon in a wristband. Look at the scheme here already. Looking for a sweet lick. Well, this is the wrong place, man. 7-time felon. Hey, what I care about a case, man. I'm campaigning to bury in hate. So say your grace, man. Hey, I don't talk behind a back. I say it to his face. I'm a thoroughbred. I don't fake and I don't hate. Check my resume. My record's impeccable. Anywhere in the A, how TIP is highly respectable. And in the MIA, I'm trying to keep it professional. Yeah, dope scheme here. Because all this tongue rustling finna have me snapping. I'm telling you, from the bottom of the Duval, Kakalaki to New York, and everybody showing me love. That's one to you all. Yeah, to all the Florida, my Kakalak, my LA. Yeah, giving shout outs and love. to all the big
and
cities.
that's another thing, how Mark mentioned earlier about his accent, how he could flip certain words and make them rhyme because of his accent. When he said like from the bottom of the Duval, Kakalaki to New York, you know what I mean? And everybody showing me love. That's one that you all like. He could flip he could make New York and Duval rhyme because of his accent. Like
that's dope.
I couldn't do that, but that ATL Southern twang, he could flip that.
We have we have an important bar that I wanted to bring up at the top. I just wanted to make sure that this verse was complete. Treat these like the Apollo and I'm the Sandman. So what Genius has here, piece of genius, by the way. The Apollo, the theater in Harlem, we all know. Howard Sims was the original Sandman, and he would dance bad performers off stage with the help of a crooked cane. So like if they sucked, he'd pull them off.
Like literally pull them off.
And I never knew that. But now with that education, the analogy, treat these like the Apollo and I'm the Sandman. So he'd take them out.
Yeah.
You out of here.
Like,
whack, get off stage.
In a different way, allegedly.
Right. In a different way. Stupid. All right, we go to verse 2 after the chorus.
Get that mark.
Yeah, call me the trouble man. Stayed in some trouble, man. Some still hating on Shotty, but they suckers, man. Got a couple fans that do nothing but other than. How's he gonna have us hanging on that bar like that? Other than what? I got a couple fans that love to do nothing other than lick, suck, show enough respect, but I still love them, man.
Damn, that was hard. That was hard.
That is a hard bar.
Dig it, little pimp, and got the mind and the muscle.
I still love him. It reminds me of Nas when he was dissing Jay-Z. He's like, you came after me, but he goes, but you were like my son or something like that. Like,
I still loved you, yeah. Dig it, little pimp, it got the mind and the muscle. Stay down on his grind, put the crown on the hustle. Hey, I can show you how to juggle anything and make a double. Weed blow, real estate, liquor store with no trouble. Young Cassius Clay of my day, Marvin Gaye of my time, trying to stay alive, living how I say in my rhymes.
Woo.
That's a tough bar right there too. Cassius Clay, Marvin Gaye.
Well, wasn't hold on. Oh yeah, even the reference to the Trouble Man with Marvin Gaye's joint too.
That's sick. Trying to stay alive.
Living how I say in my rhymes. My cousin used to tell me take the shit a day at a time, and told me Friday, not Sunday, Wednesday in the ground. I still smile because somehow I know he's seeing me now. I'm so I'm doing all my shows just like he in the crowd. Hey, throw your lighters up for my cousin too. Aaliyah, Left Eye, and Jam Master Jay.
Man,
that is a good smorgasbord of some R.I.P.
That was hard.
His fam first, Aaliyah, Left Eye, and Jam Master Jay.
That was hard. That was dope.
Did you guys end up finding out they actually found who killed Jam Master Jay?
Yes. Yep.
So
I didn't know.
Finally, thank you.
Really?
I'm tired of rappers getting killed and dudes just running off. Like, it's crazy. Yeah. So finally,
starting to catch up.
I wanted to mention something in this verse that I love when rappers do this.
Yeah.
So he says, he said, dig a little pimpin', got the mind and the muscle. Stay down on his grind, put the crown on the hustle. On what is my second favorite song, T.I. song, ASAP. He starts the first verse where he goes, I'm on my grind, grand hustle, got the crown and the hustle. 50 carats on the, he said, got the mind and the hustle, stay, you know, like he repeated this in another song. I love when rappers do that, when they call back to old verses. So on ASAP, he called back to this verse right here, which I didn't even catch until we started breaking this down.
That's dope.
He actually says this in ASAP.
Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah, he kind of flipped it a little bit, but he definitely called back to this with the mind and the muscle. Got the crown and the hustle. I like when
there's something nostalgic about that, even, you know, calling back to a time. That's sick.
Yep. All right, verse 3, he goes, grand hustle, man, more hustles than hustle, man, but why the rubber band? They representing the struggle, man. My folk on trap until they come up with another plan. Stack a couple grand, get they self off their motherland. Gangsters who been serving since you was doing the running, man. went down, did 10, back round and rich again. That's why I'm young with the soul of an old man. I'm shell shocked, get shot, slow your roll, man. Still ride around with the Glock on patrol, man. I ain't robbing, I'm just looking for the dro, man. For my slinging blow, pimping hoes, rolling voes, 24s, let them niggas know who I'm is. Rubberband Man, wild is the Taliban. Like, that's just, I love how he also flows the end of the verse into the hook.
Yep.
So he was like, letting them know who I'm is. Like I like how he does that. He did that in 24s as well.
You would know better than anybody who Hustle Man is.
Yes, Hustle Man from Martin. So shouts out Martin, the character Hustle Man played by Tracy Morgan. Yeah, Hustle Man was
Tracy
he
Morgan,
always was selling
legend.
something. The one of the funniest things he sold. Sorry, real quick sidebar. It was an episode where Martin didn't pay the rent and the house was cold, the heat was off, and it was hungry, starving. This fool Hustle Man pull up with a stick full of like some dead birds. And they were so hungry, but Martin was like, "We ain't eating no damn pigeons on a stick."
So classic, man.
But they were so hungry, they wanted them so
That's
bad.
the culture right there, man.
Oh yeah, that's my special sauce. I made it out of pork and bean juice.
Grand Hustle Man, more hustles than Hustle Man.
Yep, I'm getting it from by any means. Yeah, I mean, what can you say, man? This is a classic.
Yeah, and then this is also followed up with some other tracks that are great. I mean, we only got like halfway through the album here, but then when you got Look What You Got is the next track.
I love Look What I Got. That's my
The
song.
love track.
Brags about some luxuries, and I Still Love You talks about some past regrets and past relationships. Let Me Tell You Something. T.I. shares some advice and wisdom of experiences. Then you got the T.I. versus Tip, which is a kind of a cool track. It's kind of like a drawback to like the Slim Shady and Dr. Dre Guilty Conscience.
Yeah.
Almost. It's like, just two different personalities.
With the alter ego.
Yeah, battling each other. Then you got Bezel, which features 8Ball and MJG and Bun B. So it's a collaboration there. Some of his Southern peers.
Oh, yeah.
King of the South, where he's like, this is the official declaration.
And see, that's another thing too, like how he got a song King of the South, but right before that he has 8Ball, MJG, and Bun B on the song.
Right.
So
all
even
rappers.
with him giving himself that title of King of the South, one thing T.I. he always gave it up to those who were before him in the South.
Right, exactly.
He always, that's why they always were cool with him giving himself that title, because he always gave it up to the legends of the South before him. UGK, 8Ball, MJG, Outkast, Goody Mob. Like, he never tried to act like he was above them by any means. Like, that's why I always respected that too.
Yeah. And it's like Lil Wayne talked about this, where he called himself like kind of the greatest of all time, and he said he ran into Jay-Z and Jay-Z was cool with it. Like,
that's what you're supposed to say.
Yeah, because like there are people who claim king. Like let's take it to basketball. LeBron James,
right? King
James,
right?
There are that doesn't mean like you can just be like, oh well, that's it, he's the king. You could come in and still make a name for yourself.
Yeah.
Like there's still room to do that.
Absolutely.
And there's still greats beyond even LeBron James.
Yeah, you got to.
They're still great, but they're great in their own ways. That's the thing that.
And it's okay.
And that's fine. Be Better Than Me. T.I. reflects on his life choices and encourages the next generation to learn. That's one thing about T.I. I like, that he's really like interactive with like the new generation as well. I like the fact that he was on that hip hop show. It was like Battles or something like that. It was like Beans was on there, and some other dude like ripped her apart. He's like, I'm Puerto Rican. I've eaten beans my whole life or something.
Oh damn! Oh, what was it? What is the name of it?
Cardi B was on.
Yeah. It was on Netflix.
Snoop, I think Snoop was on.
Snoop was on there. Nipsey Hussle was on it. I forget the name of that show, but yeah, I know what you. I know exactly what you're talking about.
It was a battle show.
They were trying to like discover like the next hot rapper.
Yeah.
D Smoke actually ended up winning.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. So then you have Long Live the Game. So this is just a dope album. Definitely a dope pick, Mark, for the sophomore project. It's just crazy because I didn't even know these albums existed. Like I thought it started at Urban Legend. That was when I first saw them. Yeah, and that
was his third album.
Yeah, that was his third album. So Peep Game. But even the first album's dope. The mixtapes are dope. And this one was, I think, just a really nice project, man. I feel like he was able to really communicate this idea of the trap music, and like he was able to do it his way and put it out there.
Yeah, who knew that he would be cultivating the early seeds of a genre?
Like I said, that term before that album never existed, and now, like I said, it's literally considered a subgenre.
Yeah,
he was starting to create the branch of hip hop that is now
trap music.
Now, like I don't know a whole lot about Gucci Mane. Like you know, in comparison, you know, what's Gucci Man's impact in comparison to, like, let's say T.I.'s here?
What I would say is, like, Gucci is more like, okay, how T.I., you know, he'll touch on the streets, but like he also, you know, he can flip and do a song like Let's Get Away, or he can do a song where he gets a little more lyrical, like Bring Him Out. Yeah. You know what I mean? His style is a little more versatile. Yeah. You know what I mean? Whereas Gucci,
or more universal.
More universal. Better way to put it. Whereas Gucci is Atlanta street all day, every day. That's what you getting. Like that's not, it's not. I'm not
the artist that stays in his lane.
I'm not switching it. I'm not trying to conform. This is who I am. Like it, don't like it, whatever. Like he's redeemed himself and really, really kind of changed since, you know, getting out of jail. But like before he went in, he was like literally like the boogeyman of Atlanta, like for real. Like he was not to be played with. I mean, when him and Jeezy, you know, when they were beefing, it got so real. You know, some affiliate with Jeezy broke in Gucci Mane's house and he killed him. Like it got that real. Like, you know what I mean? Gucci is the, like, where T.I. is an extension of the trap, Gucci is the trap all day, every day. Yeah. You know what I mean? He did his bid. He's a different person now. But yeah, from like, I'm gonna say 04 to like 2010, yeah, I was a different Gucci for sure. So that's what I would say. Whereas, so like Gucci is much more like, I mean, he has fans everywhere, obviously, but like in Atlanta, shit, he might as well be Tupac. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like that's where like you gotta really be tapped in to really be, like I said, I'm not the biggest fan, but I know people who swear by Gucci. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just, if you into that lane,
even
like
Mos Def or Yasim, excuse me, even he was recently saying like, yeah, I fucks with Gucci. Gucci's dope. Like it's kind of crazy.
He's got, like I said, he's got joints that, you know, you, like I said, if you want that real super street Atlanta sound, Gucci's one of the best at it. For me personally, if I want that, I just go to Jeezy or T.I. and I'm good. I don't like Gucci. I was never a fan of his voice like that, and you know, for me, T.I.'s lyrically better, and Jeezy, for me, I just felt like his message rang more true for me. Like I can only speak for me. Like I said, if I wanted some street Atlanta music, I'm going T.I. or Jeezy. I didn't necessarily need Gucci to touch that again, but like I said, those who are a fan of Gucci Mane, they swear by him.
Yeah, exactly. They'll bear that flag. If someone dies on that, someone's picking up that flag for sure.
Like his fan base, they will fight for that for sure.
Yeah, that's gonna be an interesting one once we cover Gucci Mane.
Yeah, he got, his fan base is deep, man.
I even want to do Scarface again because I feel like Scarface has so much to his discography. It's kind of hard.
We barely tapped the surface with just one album.
So I wanna come back to Scarface another time too.
What's with the wire?
My bad, didn't mean to push that. So final thoughts on this album, this project, T.I.?
Just glad we're able to cover it. I'm really, I was really happy how by reading off the lyrics, a lot of people just gloss over him lyrically, but by dissecting and understand that he holds rhyme patterns, he provides
good songs,
provides an excellent chorus, takes beats that aren't going to be your typical beat, and transforms it into something that resonates with us today and still gets played.
Inspirational.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's to the point now where, you know, this album is old enough to where, I mean, if these artists weren't so scared, you know, you could have radio freestyles and you could put on something like Rubberband Man and kill it. If you got the right pocket, you could do that. It doesn't have to always be, you know, Who Shot You or Nas Is Like, or, you know, Shook Ones. It doesn't always have to be that. Like,
that'd be a good one to mix up too.
You know what I mean? If you got an actual, if you in that southern pocket, you could actually have this be the you know, the joint you want to, you know, rip on a freestyle. We need more artists freestyling, please. Please.
I don't know. It's
like, man, a lot
of rappers are scared to do that.
You don't
see. Some do it. Common does it. I see him.
Oh yeah. But I'm talking younger artists. Can we please get back to that? Like,
not the freestyle. That's been always been my pet peeve, bro.
Each have their own lane.
Yeah.
You know?
But at least even just going, even if it's a written, just, well, not a written, but like, even if it's something that's not on an official record that you wrote and didn't put, whatever, but just exercising lyrically. Like, that's all I'm saying. Like, just lyrical exercise. And somebody like T.I., who people don't look at as super lyrical, he has plenty of times going on radio station. He just did a LA Leakers joint maybe beginning of the year.
I didn't know.
Like, he just did one, like, and I forget what beat he rapped over, but like T.I. still does it. T.I. is his 40s now, still spitting. Like, that's what I mean. Like, he still come from that cloth where you had to be a good rapper. Like, you just had to.
Mid-40s, now I'm a vet in the game. Now he can actually like really have that
he's
bar.
legitimately a vet in the
have that
game.
You really have that bar now.
Yeah, peace to you, Mark, for choosing this album. I thought it was really dope. Definitely a change up from some recent like 90s stuff we were listening to.
I'm totally about the trap. You can't tell.
Oh yeah, no, I mean I've become a fan of trap music myself. Like I think it's crazy though because we've come
The most unbelievable statement I've ever said in my life. I'm from the dirty, son. Sound like a narc. But it's always a good pleasure.
You got a
to
wire
listen
on
to
you?
I know, huh? Can you guys say all these things louder? The mic.
Yeah, no, I mean I feel like for myself I've come a long way because I was kind of more stuck in this like 90s underground sound. Like I haven't told you guys how I miss Lil Wayne in a way because of that, and so now it's like cool because like hearing all these guys back, I'm like, oh man, this is dope.
Yeah, they really were dope.
Yeah,
They were all they were nice. It's just
Who would have thought?
It's just
yeah.
different. It's just a different way about it, but they're nice. It's like
nice.
as long as you nice, that's all that matters to me, man.
And localized in their area, that's what that's their style.
Correct.
And we can't bag on them for being products of their environment. This is, if anything, this is the ultimate version of a product of your environment.
Yeah.
Evolving into something spectacular and actually being able to cause this growth to where everyone outside of that environment starts getting attracted to them.
Oh, of course. Mm-hmm. I mean, I remember
not just within Atlanta.
Not to drag it on, but like, there was that moment when Houston was kind of popping for a little bit, and literally for that one little moment, everybody was slowing down their hooks. You know what I mean? Sounding like chopped and screwed. Like, that was a thing because a certain region popped off, at a certain time. You know what I mean? Like, that's just what it is. When certain regions, have their moments, that shit can go nationwide, man.
Yeah. So check this album out. If you guys haven't listened to it, this is a good time to go ahead and get into some trap music. Go to the guy who kickstarted it, man.
Literally invented the term.
T.I. Check out his stuff, man. Even the mixtapes, which are pretty dope with this crew. That's
Down with the
sick.
King. That's a classic. That's a classic T.I. mixtape.
And make sure, when you're listening to 24, it's like, make sure you got the spinning rims. You got your pager on you.
Make sure your
Money,
beat is nice.
check.
Make sure you got the hat.
Cars, check. Clothes, check. Hose, check.
Right.
Make sure I blow dro.
Yeah.
24s again, check.
Yeah. So make sure you got all that checklist
Your hat
off.
right.
Right.
Yeah, right.
Get the anti-gravity hat right.
So peace to everybody. Make sure that you guys follow, subscribe, share the video, comment, all those things. Let us know what you think about T.I. Let us know what's the best track that you've liked out of this, or just some good memories that you maybe you've met him or whatever it is. Like, let us know in the comments. We'd be interested to hear about that.
Yeah. Send us the car that you're driving. Let's see what you're sitting on.
Yeah.
See if it was good enough for Need for Speed.
Oh yeah, send us your custom files from Need for Speed Underground.
Ooh, all right, Mark, go ahead. Let him have it, man.
To the MCs, if you drop a mic, drop a like.
Well, you can have whatever you like.
Hey.
Why you want to go and do that, huh?
You like. Make sure to follow us.
Peace.
Final boss. Oh.
Freestyles.
Get your bars up. Off the top of the dome, y'all.
Anyone?
A what?
Free to start. Whoever.
Okay, yo, watch when I rap. Yo, I'm like an F-14 off the tarmac. Top Gun Maverick, watch out for Goose, watch out when I let loose. Yo, I'm passing the Dutchie like I'm a musical youth. So pass the Dutchie, pawn the left-hand side when I rhyme, or I'm gonna slap you in the face with some cyanide, hydrochloric acid, especially when I'm kicking all these dope little things. Yo, I'm not plastic, I'm more like elastic, man. Reach around and hit you with the backside palm of my hand. Yo, I'm in a little pickle, no Vlasic. That's my favorite type of cucumber dipped in vinegar, especially when I'm doing it quicker and quicker like Quicksilver, Magneto son, literally in the literal form. My metaphors start swarming around like killer bees, especially when I rip it with these MCs, Ali and Isaiah next to me, doing it mass supreme when we create these dope 16s. Watch it, pass it to my left, watch Ali catch wreck, yo, he's next.
Let's get it. All right, yo, check it. Yo, hey yo, this beat is called the Candyman. Break me off a piece of the Kit Kat when I spit raps. And when I spit it with no kickback, I flip raps. And that's how I do it when I take naps. I just sleep on y'all, cause y'all garbage. Take them out the trash, put y'all in the closet. Cause you don't even belong on the mic when I'm way too nice. You just don't know how I do off the top of the dome. When I go home, I just wipe off the shoes like they shine like chrome. That's how we go. I'll break it down and stretch the bars like I'm about to go and work out. I just work out. All your girl do is twerk out when I smoke out. But I don't even smoke. My lungs is way too clean and I'm way too mean. On the mic, you just ain't be seen. Like I'm John Cena. You don't even wanna see you when I be ya. That's how I do it to ya. That's how I do it when I clean up my rhymes. That's how I do it. I do it way too many times. I don't even know how to go. I just flow. Cause you don't even know how to see it. You ain't even that nice. You just too whack. I don't even flow cause you're way too whack. You don't have no Mac. You slack, you lack, you're lazy. You ain't even crazy. I just spit because I know how I go. And I'm an ace like the top card. I'm just going cause I'm way too hard. You too soft. You don't even know how to do it. You don't even spit off the top. You don't even how to write. You just be saying whatever. I just go and I just spitting whatever. Cause I just go ahead, Zay.
Yo, just spitting whatever. Whatever's clever. That comes to our mind. That's our endeavor. We're never gonna let you just try to pull the lever. Cause we got the secret button on you like I'm Dom. Yo, what's going on when I hit that night? That Nas like just got it in my palm like nothing. Yo, as I kickstart this, we start to go harder. You don't wanna try to be like we were playing at Carter. No matter what kind of art you got, because I'm gonna come back and leave you on that same spot on the curb. My words are superb. Yo, I'm eating up these lines like I'm starting to slurp on some spaghetti. Yo, you already know me. I'm getting like crazy like Eddie, long hair. Yo, don't care when I come back like a bear, body slam. Land you like a pancake, damn. That's the way it is. Now I'm like kablam when I coming out of the box. Yo, live in effect like the comics. Don't know, but my words are just as large like Nostradamus when I'm spitting in the future. You knew ya would come back with this battle rap when I'm slanging. No time to wait. Yo, I gotta kick that very superb. Yo, this is just the very tip of the iceberg. The way I come back, you heard. No, but it's flying. What's up, Mockingbird? Once we start hitting it up, yo, don't wanna stop. I'm gonna hit it up like Tupac when I come out with it. Yo, but yo, got two eyes like left eye, but yo, I don't know, but man, I missed that one. Why? Because she was ill. Want the TLC. Yo, you know you can't tell me because I know she was bringing that heat. That was just something that I like to see. Go ahead, Mark.
Something he'd like to see. If you could do me the favor and extend the beat, otherwise I'll get cut off. It'll be a cappella, and then I'll have nothing to say when it goes. But yo, I'll keep going off the acapella, reaching every endeavor, trying to be more clever. But yo, I'm trying to do this and start rolling sevens, and I'm with my dogs because all the dogs go to heaven. Peace out to Don Bluth when I spit my rhymes. I'll be a little foot like in Land Before Time. But yo, I'm doing this for all the little kids that I got mad secrets. I'm kinda like the secret of Nim. Yo, I just named 3 successful Don Bluth films, especially when I do this with the skills that killed. And watch me like Legos and stack and watching I build, or clear the lines like I'm playing Tetris when I wreck this. Yo, it's a mad type of practice that I do. Apparently you lack this, and yo, my size gets giant. I'm kinda like Galactus. My metaphors are like Fantastic Fours. The Thing, Johnny Blaze, Sue Storm, and Mr. Fantastic. Especially when I rap this all up in plastic. So you Reynolds MCs get stuck in elastic. But yo, my styles is mad, submerged underneath Atlantis with the baddest, illest MCs on the planet. Yo, I keep revolving around these planets like I'm Saturn. Yo, got mad rings, I'm championship acclaim. Especially when I'm doing this NBA jam produced by that game company Acclaim. Watch me go off, and watch me go off real hard, and then they're gonna be like, boom, shakalaka. Yo, I'm the top rim rocker like Shaquille O'Neal, like when he holds a pill. I be the real deal. Yo, commanding the ship like the Admiral David Robinson when I'm going off and off again. Yo, I love doing this. I'm mad phenomenal. I'm a phenomenal kid. Give it off to Ali, getting his bid.
Yo, let's get it. Hey yo, Candyman, you drop your ball like your Butterfingers, but you a loser, not a winner. I get 8 like dinner on 1 less than 9. Your rhymes ain't fine, you don't age like wine. Y'all rhymes is old, they just pitiful. They don't even know, cause y'all rhyme like some silly hoes. Like fan mail, like TLC's 3rd album, but you don't even make it to a 3rd album. You don't listen, you don't write, you don't even just spit. You just be recording off somebody else's gimmicks. You don't even have your own. You're not even original. You just copy paste like the right click. If you with the right click, get it, right click, copy paste. You don't even listen when I run through this sloppy race. I don't even tip top. I'm in this sloppy shape. I don't even work out, but I just gotta get better because my jump shot is wetter. It gets better. You don't even know how to make it better. I just said that like 3 times because I got 3 rhymes, but I keep going like a Siamese time. Keep it going. I'm repping like Spider-Man with the web. Yeah, internet web. I just keep going when I flip to that. When I make it, when I say it in a shed. Yeah, off the top of the head. When I'm laying in the bed. Yeah, that's what I said. I'm just throwing rhymes that ram like dead. I just rhyme when I do it. Just keep it simple like a pimple. You don't even have the type of rhymes to keep going when you're just sitting in a little. Too many littles in the game. Y'all dudes ain't even big enough. You gotta keep going when you don't sip enough. You sip too much. You drink too much. You don't even have the mind state to rhyme. I'm in the different mind state of time. Pass it to Zay and have him keep going to finish it out.
Yo, finish this out. Past the finish line. As I start to rhyme, kicking dope lines, but it's not crap. In fact, I'll make y'all rock. But yo, I'm not about the talk. I'm about the hip hop. But yo, I'm about to get off the tip top. Like T.I. Yo, you trying to come at me, asking me why. But I don't know, cause other cats can't break me off like they're at the Olympics. Yo, I get scientific the way I bust out the forensics. I'm going deep into it because I can't stop. The flow is terrific. Can't stop it. Yo, you already know it's scientific. The way I get down to it, microscopic. Taking it down like Ant-Man. To this Netherland, Sandman. Yo, Rubberband Man. Yo, trying to come out this foreign land like I'm Taliban. Don't even know. It kind of thing. What the hell, man? Got the bazooka. Yo, coming out like you already know. Bazooka about to shoot your whole Bluetooth and your whole team down. Your whole helicopter. Don't matter what it is. Yo, I'm coming out the sand like Aladdin. Don't wanna try me, the diamond in the rough, G. What you trying to do? Trying to be easy. Yo, you better watch cause I get real cheesy. Sometimes I'm rapping like I'm Ludacris, but now I'm just going ludicrous with it. Yo, you don't wanna start to skip it because I'm starting to get really infinite. Like I'm one of the comics, like one of the villains that can't be stopped. That's to the end of time. Busted rhymes, and I'm busting that for the end of time like that, man.
Damn! Live freestyles every 5 episodes.
Peep game, peep game.
Fuck Master Flex. Would like to hear this.
Gotta follow us, man.